In every town there's a bridge, maybe wood, maybe steel, maybe made of little cottages we cross each day without noticing. Tonight's story is about one such bridge, one that never charged a toll, nor in money nor in apology. If you believe that kindness, like bridges, holds more weight than we think, subscribe and walk with me across. Marine's Bend got its name from the river that curled around it like a long question mark. The river wasn't wide, but it separated the two halves of the town, the hill folk on the west and the merchants on the east. For years people crossed by an old wooden bridge named Pelham Crossing, built when horses still carried milk and postmen whistled louder than their letters. The bridge had served 3 generations. It wasn't grand, but it was dependable, like an old promise. When time wore its planks thin and its bolts tired, the council decided to tear it down and build a new one, wider, stronger, and they said modern. That's when the argument started. The merchants wanted a toll, just a small one, they said, to cover the maintenance. The hill folks said they would rather swim than pay to cross something that had always been free. The council hired Elias Reid, a retired engineer with steady eyes and slow speech, to design the new bridge. He had once built rail lines through rough country, but he had retired after his wife passed away, saying he would rather build quiet things now, things that let people meet in the middle instead of passing each other by. Elias accepted the job, but with a condition that puzzled everyone. No toll, he said simply. If I build it, it stays free. Bridges are strange creatures. They are built to connect, yet they often reveal where we are divided. Elias began work in early spring. He walked the river banks with his notebook, measuring currents and listening to the land. He was older now, so he took his time, not out of weakness, but respect. The workers liked him. He wasn't a loud foreman. He brings sandwiches, pour coffee for everyone first, and listen to the mason stories as though they were part of the blueprint. Every evening, after the crew went home, Elias stayed back to check the bolts, hum a tune his wife used to like, and talk softly to the water. "We will make you proud, old girl," he would say. "No tolls, no fences, no pride heavier than the stones we lay." By midsummer, the bridge had taken shape, iron ribs arching gracefully, wooden planks laid like careful sentences, but pressure from the merchants' guild grew louder. They sent letters, they visited the site, and finally, one morning they arrived with a legal paper. "Alias," said Mr. Ward, head of the guild, Progress costs money. The toll isn't great, it's sustainability. Elias looked at the man's polished boots, then at the bridge that gleamed in sunlight. "And let the river charge rent for the rain," he said quietly. "Some things are better when left unprized." The guilt left, muttering about sentiment and impractical man. The world often mistakes compassion for inefficiency, but kindness doesn't need accounting, it needs courage. Then came the flood. The storm that autumn was the worst Marine's Bend had seen in 30 years. The river swelled like a lung, filled its banks and snapping small roots from the shore. The unfinished bridge groaned under the weight of the rain. People gathered at a distance, watching lamps away. The workers were ordered to evacuate, but Elias stayed. He walked the bridge through the storm, tying ropes, checking joints, whispering to the structure like an old friend. When the section began to creak near the center span, he shouted over the thunder, calling two nearby laborers back. "Help me reinforce the joint," he cried. "It's not safe," they yelled back. "Neither is giving up," he answered. Together they hammered, braced, and prayed. At one point, the lightning flash revealed the three men, small figures against the roaring grey, bound by their refusal to abandon what connected them. When the storm passed at dawn, the bridge held bent, soaked, scared, but it held. The town gathered, stunned and grateful. Elias stood in the morning light, drenched but smiling faintly. "She's a stubborn bridge," he said. "She will do." The council, seeing how much the bridge meant to people, held an emergency meeting. The merchants argued again for the toll, citing flood damage, but the townsfolk, both east and west, came in droves to protest. An old farmer spoke up. "I don't pay to visit my brother. I don't pay to say good morning. Why would I pay to cross the thing that lets me do both?" It was decided. The bridge would remain toll-free. Repairs would be done by volunteers. Even Mr. Ward, embarrassed by pragmatic, donated timber. Elias supervised the restoration, refused to pay. He only asked for one thing, that a plaque be placed at the bridge's entrance with 6 words, "Built by many hands, crossed by all." The town agreed. The toll can be money, but more often it's pride, or resentment, or fear. The real bridge builders are the ones who stop charging those. Years passed. The bridge became part of Marine's rhythm. Courting couples carved initials into the railing. Children fished from its side, Street musicians played under its shadow. Elias grew older, slower. His hands trembled now when winding his pocket watch, but his smile never did. One morning he found a boy sitting on the railing sketching. The boy was thin, freckled, and barefoot. "Careful up there," Elias said. "I'm drawing the bridge," the boy replied. "You're missing the shore." "I am saving for one," said the boy with a grin. Elias chuckled and sat beside him. They watched the water slide by like time and manners. The boy's name was Celeb, and he told Elias about his dream to be an architect. He wanted to build something everyone can use, but no one could own. "That's a fine dream," Elias said. "When you make it, remember the bridge isn't what connects people, it's the reason they want to cross." Salib remembered that. When Elias passed away 2 winters later, the whole town lined the bridge with candles. Salib placed his drawing on the plaque and whispered, "Thank you for teaching me how to build without price." Time, as it does, moved on. Marines' planes became busier, tourists came, the merchants' grandchildren saw opportunity in crowd and commerce. A new council proposed, once again, to introduce a toll, just temporary, to fund expansion. The argument echoed like an old cough, but now the town had Celeb. He has grown, a young architect with soft eyes and calloused hands, running his own workshop near the old lane. When he heard about the plan, he walked straight to the meeting hall, carrying a rolled parchment. He waited until the discussion hit its loudest pitch, then spoke. "If money is the problem, let the bridge solve it, not by charging, but by giving." He unrolled his design, an extension walkway beneath the bridge, fitted with small vendor stalls for artisans and musicians. Revenue from those would cover maintenance, and the main span would remain free. "Let the bridge pay for itself," he said. That's what Elias would have done. The idea was so simple it silenced the room. The merchants nodded, unwillingly at first, then genuinely. The plan worked. By the next summer, Pelham Crossing not only paid for its upkeep, it funded a reading corner under its arch, and the sign states, "Built by many hands, crossed by all." Bridges don't need tolls to stay standing, they need respect. Alias built one for free and taught a town that generosity is infrastructure. Once built, it supports everything else. So if you ever build something, a friendship, a promise, a place, keep it toll free. Let people cross without fear of owing you more than a smile. That's how towns and hearts stay connected. If tonight story eased the weight of your day, subscribe and bring someone with you next time. The bridge is wide enough.